right here is where my butthole puckers so tight. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the Bald Bearded Bicyclist, and this is 2 days of Buffalo. This is the Pendleton road race, which took place on the second day, and it is the third event from that series. You can check out the link to the crit. I will post it somewhere on the screen here. And please like and subscribe. I really only have probably 1 or 2 more races to commentate on this season. So like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that when I start posting next year, or if I throw up some random videos during the winter, you'll be able to see those, and hopefully I can keep the momentum going for next season. But jumping into the race, it was we're on just started the third lap out of 6. This is a relatively flat course, and the biggest factor of the day was the heat, 95 or so degrees, and it was a scorcher. I've never raced in heat like that before. Really tough. I probably should have brought an iced water bottle, stuck it in my back pocket, or an ice sock. A lot of the guys were doing that. Very smart. But I didn't faint. I got through the race, so we'll see how it plays out. I'm going to jump into it. So I was trying to position myself well in this race, stay near guys that I knew would be players, and the guys I'm looking for are Sam, who's just in front of me, Project Echelon. You guys have seen him in some of the other videos, and I don't want to spoil it if you didn't see it, but check out the crit video. I played a role in that. And then Patrick Stolp, who won the TT. He's up here. I was keeping my eyes on him. The guys from the IBCC team, the blue jerseys, always watching them. Zach here in the iRacing jersey. He's been a player all season. So, I'm trying to surround myself around these guys, but not do too much work. I'm not really drafting right now, so I don't know what I'm doing, but there's a lot of noodling around in this race, but you can actually see the rider from Kelly Benefits just kind of went to the front, and he's putting in a hard pull, and we're not working too hard. I'm letting myself just drift back a little bit, but you could see it was getting a little bit strung out, and it's good. He's just trying to get things activated, get people to actually do some work, so I'd like to see that. And I believe I'm kind of letting things get situated here, but I'm ready to kind of jump in rotation and do a little bit of work if I need to. It's cool to see another giant Defy, another endurance bike in the race. You can see to my left here. That's what Jimmy from IBCC is racing. So if you don't know, that's what I race. And I'm always looking at what race bike I should be upgrading to, but the Defy is actually a really, really nice bike, and much more comfortable than probably the majority of race bikes, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'm kind of going to the front. We are doing a little bit of a rotation, and so I'm fine doing a little bit of work, but obviously aware that I don't want to tire myself out. It's on the third of 6 laps, and now I know that a lot of people are not doing work, but I'm happy to do a few pulls here and there. But the problem is, we were doing a rotation, and then nobody comes through, so then I'm just kind of tucked in here, second wheel, and again, these IBCC guys have been doing a ton of work both days, so I'm kind of just stuck. I'm not doing the majority of the work because he's on the front, but at second wheel, I'm definitely doing more work than the people in the back. So it's maybe not an ideal position to be in, but I don't want to just let myself fall back at this point and let a gap open off the front. So I'm just kind of content to, I don't know why I let so much of a gap open there, but yeah, so I just get on the front through that turn, see if we can string things out a little bit. again, just trying to get people to work a little bit. But obviously, you know, if there's a small gap there, I'm not looking back. I'm not thinking that I'm actually getting away here. I'm just trying to get people to do something, because last few of these races have felt a little bit too much like group rides for the majority of the race. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. So this is just a little bit further on in that lap, and I just want to show something that was happening really, really frequently in this race. The people in the front would kind of get into a little bit of a rotation and would be taking poles to try to get the pace up. But you can see how it's going to break down in a second, and this was happening pretty much every single time that we would get something going. So people would pull through, and then no one else would. This big gap would open. But like, that's Patrick on the front there, and he's the race leader. So now I'm gonna do work to get up to them, which, you know, I need to learn to just let people close the gap. I mean, they're not going to let the race leader get away. But they're pushing it pretty hard. They want to get a little bit of space into this turn. And watching it back, we actually do get a little bit of a gap. And I think the three of us fall into rotation. I haven't watched this. It's been a couple weeks since this actual race, and I haven't watched it all the way through, so I'm kind of forgetting the details until I'm watching this. Now, obviously, the guy from IBCC, he's strong. He's not going to let us get away. But if he were not on the front, I feel like we might have gotten a bit of a gap there. Looks like those guys just kind of fell back, and I'm just following Patrick. I was trying to pull through here. We're basically caught, but you know, things are, you can see it's pretty single file, and guys on the front are they're working, trying to keep it up. There's definitely gaps around. I think we're pretty much all back together. I'm gonna jump forward. So here, we were kind of fell into a rotation again at the front. And again, I'm looking to pull through. And there's just no one behind me. So I kind of unnecessarily do a pull and then get into the slower lane waiting for somebody to come around me. No one's there. So now I'm stuck on the front again. And this was just happening a lot in this race, and really hurt me. I mean, I like being close to the front, and we weren't doing a ton of work, but comparatively I was doing a lot more work than other people. And I decided to follow this attack, even though he was, you know, right off the front. I'm working very hard, but I'm just bringing everybody. So I don't really know what the right move would have been there, whether I should have let him get a gap and then just saw who would follow, jumped on them. But I definitely did some unnecessary work following that right from the front. But yeah, I just filter back for a little bit, get a little bit of rest, and then I think I jump back into rotation again. So things I could have done better. So now we're on the 5th of 6 laps. I find myself near the front again, and I'm taking poles, and I'm watching this back and just questioning where my head was at and why I was doing any work when most of the others weren't. And I gotta get over that, I think. I don't know. I want the races to be fun, and I want us to go fast. But I shouldn't be the one spurring it on, because I'm definitely not the strongest guys out, one of the strongest guys out here. So, and then I'm jumping onto this from the front. I don't know why I'm doing these little moves. Like, I should be letting other people fill in and not being the first one to respond to stuff from the front and just bringing everybody with every move. So, got to get over that. So we're coming into the one tight turn on this course, and maybe the only technical section. And right here is where my butthole puckers so tight. Guys in front, they just hit the brakes, and I almost got my wheels swiped out from me. So that was a very scary moment. A guy behind me, and I started chatting about it. I'm glad it didn't screw anybody else up when I then had to counter by hitting my brakes, but definitely could have made it through that turn at the speed we were going. But it is what it is. Luckily, there was no crash there. So just for fun, here I am on the front again, 350, 400 watts for no reason whatsoever. I'm not sure what I'm doing. But yeah. I gotta stop doing that. That's just not necessary. Oh, great. Yeah, just go up to almost 600 watts there. Okay. So it is the last lap, and I had kind of gotten shuffled to the back. I'm using this little stretch here where things slowed down to move up. Not having to work too hard, but definitely putting in a little bit of effort just to find my way back towards the front. I don't remember exactly. I need to try to slot in here. I don't know if I was able to get in. I think Sam might have let me get in behind Devin because we were teammates. Yeah, I think he just told me to take it. So that was nice. Thanks, Sam. And well, let's jump ahead. Okay, so I think this is pretty much where things went a little bit sideways for me. I was in pretty good position here, but things went quick up the left side. I wasn't able to act on that quick enough, and then all of a sudden I feel kind of jammed. I am not somebody who's ever going to try to squeeze a tiny gap and push people around, because I don't want to crash, and I'd like to be able to walk the next day. But things are definitely picking up. Obviously this is the final stretch before the last turn, so even in the draft right now I'm pushing over 300 watts, and I just can't really find a place to move up now, because this guy's just kind of sitting off on the left side. I could have definitely, now that I'm watching it, I could have squeezed around him on the left here, and I think that's maybe what I was trying to do, because I just picked up my power and then I get pushed off into the left, and I can't advance over the yellow, so I slow down, get back into position like a good boy. But we'll see, some other people had trouble following those rules. So I'm just trying to wait for an opportunity. You can see my power's kind of spiking and then going down, because we got people going over the yellow line and there's cars coming. It's never worth it to risk getting hit by a car just to make a position or two. So I am anxiously trying to figure out how I can move forward here and get a little bit better position, because I do know that once you go through that turn, it's the final straightaways. People are just going to start sprinting. Basically, the wind's behind you, and it's pretty much game over if I don't make it to the front of this pack before that turn. Right here, I should have continued to move forward. I did make up that one position. There is a little bit of opening on the left here, and I should have worked harder to get up there. I'm also not on any wheels that I really want to be on. I really, again, wanted to be on Sam's or Patrick's or one of the IBCC guys. I see them there, but I can't get over to them. They're on the right side, I'm on the left. And then I see Sam all the way up there on the right too. So like all the guys that I'd love to be on, they're on the right. And I mean, I guess I could have tried to fight for one of their wheels. There was kind of an opening to get over there. I don't love the idea of pushing somebody off, but I think just in my head I just resigned myself to where I was in the pack at this point. But I don't think I realized how far back I was. Okay, that fucked everybody up too. Sorry for my language. But yeah, that kid was advancing over the yellow, and there was a car, something was honking. Just really unsafe stuff. So again, I'm just trying to fight my way through here. I should have jumped up onto the Kelly Benefits guy's wheel. There was a little bit of an opening there in front of Devin. But I also don't want to box myself in, so I don't want to go into the middle. But there's guys trying to go around my left too, so I am kind of getting boxed in. So I think I probably should have held the yellow line and just waited for opportunities to move up there. Because as you move in a little bit, people will try to get around you, and then you're going to lose position. So, but you can see the front's moving forward. And we're not. You'll actually be able to see when they go through the turn how much farther. So Jim had a really good move there. Went on the right side, and there was actually plenty of room to move up on the right side. So had I been able to get over there, I would have been able to get up there. I mean, if you could make it to that turn and get through that turn first, I would have been in such better position. But I am pretty much in the worst possible position, being on the outside, not being able to move up. And you can see now people are already out through the other side of that turn, and I'm just going into it. So I've got a ton of work ahead of me. So I'm basically sprinting from through the turn. Trying to keep my speed up. I'm kind of jumping from one draft to the other, and people are, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like going much faster than them if they were to keep going, but I think people are just giving up along the way, and so I'm passing all these people. But I think I passed like 7 people, and I was 7 or so seconds behind the leaders going into that turn, and then I finished 7 seconds behind the leader at the finish line. So it just goes to show you, if I had positioned myself better going into the turn and I was right near the front, things could have ended much better for me. That's pretty much it. I don't think I caught anybody else here, and I think I ended up in 8th or 10th or something like that. But it wasn't a horrible position. But again, just had I played that last section a little bit differently, I think it would have been a very, very different outcome for me. So really fun one. Stay tuned. Again, subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what I could have done better if you saw anything. Appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.